Hello everybody, welcome back to Everyman Prepping. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving holiday, and I haven't done a news story in a few days. Been spending a lot of time with friends and family, doing some work outside because the weather's been favorable. But it's time to catch you all up on what's been happening in the news, especially today. We had some very important stuff happen. The last video I did was prepping for the elderly. I don't know if you had a chance to check it out, but if not, I'll put a link up here and below. I had a lot of great suggestions for the elderly, a lot of people commenting, giving their ideas, so check that out. But like I said, this video is going to be on some news articles. I'm going to go through them as quick as I can to bring you up to speed because I know we're all busy and you still got some weekend time to enjoy. So please hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, all that great stuff, and let's get started here. First thing that's happened in the last few days you can see is North Korea has launched a, what they're calling a satellite. Could it be an EMP device? Could it be some other nuclear weapon floating above there? We don't know. But they're saying that it was a successful launch of a satellite into orbit. And what they're saying, as you can see it going up there, all great and everything looks great, is that they're claiming that they're claiming it's reconnaissance, and they're getting reconnaissance. Words are hard today. Satellite, and it's taking pictures of South Korea, of Guam. They're saying they're getting some great photos. So, there he is all nice and happy with this recon satellite. Like I said, a lot of people think, could be an EMP device. What do you think? Write down below what you think. But it could be their third, device that, geosinks above the United States eventually. We're just waiting for that day to be called upon by China, Russia, or whoever. So that's gone up last year. We need to keep our eye on that. Then we have this. Then we're going to move into the European theater really quick. Last night, Kiev was under the largest drone attack, the capital of Ukraine, that we've seen since the war started in February 2022. 75 drones were sent into Kiev. We don't know how many, they're claiming they shot down almost all of them. They have this great air defense, but there's hardly any pictures. We get tons of pictures coming out of Israel and Gaza of everything happening, but Ukraine has such a tight control over the media and the people, and the penalties for giving video out, just independent people sending them out, are so high, so extreme, that hardly anybody does it. So we know some have landed, there's been damage. But 75 drone attack, maybe the Russians are probing to see how many they can do to overload the system. Very big attack, still major theater going on. And in fact, I saw this being posted. Zelensky is announcing that he's going to get an imminent receipt of warships to escort grain tankers in the Black Sea. Well, this is just going to be a huge escalation. Probably going to, Russia's probably going to try to sink those ships. It doesn't say who's giving the ships to Ukraine, but if they're going to have warships escorting grain ships going through the Black Sea, Russia's already said they're going to take them out. Look for that to happen. Who knows if this happened? But this seems just like, NATO trying to test Russia on the capabilities that Russia has for anti-ship. I don't know, but I don't think that's going to go very well either. Moving on from there, we have Douglas McGregor, the former president advisor, former general, and he's saying that Washington has already sent almost all of our war stocks, weapons, and systems and ammunition Kiev. I've been pushing that for a while, that we've given up almost everything we've had, all of our stock. We're kind of sitting ducks. We don't have a big supply anymore. They're trying to crank out as many artillery shells as they can, but as fast as we make them, we're sending them over there. And basically, you see the quote he has here: the war in Ukraine is lost. That's a common thought along most lines. A lot of people think, hey, it's time to negotiate peace. You're going to have to give up some Ukraine. They're going to have to give up some ground, some terrain to the territories already conquered by Russia to get some peace. Russia says they want Odessa still. They want Kiev. We'll see what happens. I don't know, but they're at a big stalemate. Russia's even closing in on a few territories, going to take some more land. There's a lot of deaths going on both sides. A huge stalemate. We don't know, but it's just a meat grinder. Not getting anywhere over there. Not improving at all. And that leads to this. I'm sure you heard about this. In Ireland, this is in Dublin. They had a immigrant. Some people saying illegal immigrant. Someone saying from Algeria. There was an attack on some children, a stabbing, and, they had some riots afterwards. And you can see what it says here on the bus. It says out. They set it on fire. People are attacking immigration centers. People are fed up over there. Will this spread? Will this go to more civil unrest throughout Europe? If you're in Europe and UK, all those areas over there, keep an eye on this. See if it spreads. Get ready for civil unrest. People might be getting tired of what's going on with the attacks on their civilian population by immigrants. So we'll see. But this was a big thing happening. It was calm last night. we'll see where it goes from there. Moving on from here, we're going to go into Israel. Yes, we had some hostages released. The first batch of 25 hostages were released. There are 13 Israelis, 12 Thais, as it says here, no Americans were released. No Americans were released today. We're going to get into that in a second here. But yeah, we had 25 hostages released. A lot of food, fuel, and other shipments and stuff went into Gaza through the Egyptian border in the south. So that seemed like it's always going well. The ceasefire's holding. But then today, before we get today, we'll have this. Here's some more pictures. By the way, this gentleman, Trey Yingsent, I don't even know if I pronounced that right. He does great reporting for Fox. I know he works for Fox. He's mainstream, but his reporting over there, if you follow him, he does great video commentary. He's one of the better guys over there if you want to see, but he has some photos of some of the prisoners released. Palestinian prisoners were also released back to Hamas. That happened as well. But then we come today. Hamas announced the delay of the second round of hostages handover. So they're delaying it. There were going to be 13 or more hostages released today in exchange for 39 Palestinians. No Americans again. Kind of interesting. I don't know what Blinken's doing over there, but those Americans haven't been released yet. They're still holding them back, so let yourself ponder why that might be happening. But they said they're going to delay it because they said that Israel is not withholding up their end of the bargain with the amount of goods going in and some other things. But this could crash the ceasefire. We'll see. We're in day 2 or so of the ceasefire, a couple days left. People thought it might have been extended. You know, they gave the offer of an additional 10 days for every hostage released. So there was hope that was going to last a long time. But if they've already stopped releasing, this might crash. If it does, Israel is going to go full bore, nothing held back, and they're going to just level that place over there if the ceasefire breaks. That's what I think is going to happen, in my opinion. Even Qatar's getting in, and Egypt's getting involved. They said that through back channels, they're demanding that Hamas move to the immediate release of the hostages who were previously agreed upon in order to prevent total collapse of the ceasefire. Totally agree. They need to do this. It's going to be bad. So this is happening right now as I'm making this video. Saturday afternoon, we'll keep an eye on it and see how it goes from here, but not looking good for keeping that thing going. Let's all hope, though, we get those hostages back and they can extend that ceasefire as long as possible. Although, it probably gets times for Hamas to refigure how they want to attack. We'll see. But moving on from there, we have Israeli billionaire cargo ship hit by a drone in the Indian Ocean. So, we have some people saying this is the Houthis, the Yemen Houthis. Some people say it was an Iranian drone. Some people say it's Iranian. They're blaming a lot of people. But it looks like the second cargo ship, we already had one taken hostage. In fact, if we want to look at, let's see, this is the video. I'm not going to play it because YouTube gets mad when you play things like this, but I'm going to zoom in real quick. You see they had a helicopter land. They got troops out. They boarded. They took control of it, and they still control this vessel. So the second one is this one. They said it was owned by a billionaire, an Israeli billionaire. It was flagged under, we'll read them out, I think Malaysian flags. So it doesn't matter what flag it is. If it's connected to Israel, Yemen says they're going to take it over. And this one they said was hit by drone. No casualties, but some people said he was even taken under control, brought back to Yemeni's port. I don't know. Let's go check out the story from RT. Israeli-owned ship attacked by suspected Iranian drone. So they're even saying this is RT, Russian Times, very pro-Russian, pro-Iranian, but they're claiming an Iranian drone was used. This implicates Iran, bringing them close to war. I don't know. Probably not a good thing, but that's the way we're headed. What else do we have? Historical links to Israeli intelligence operation was the guy that owned it. It's, Maltese flight container ship by one of the wealthiest individuals in the Indian Ocean was attacked. What does this do? You're thinking, what does this have to do with me? You know, I'm over here. There are cargo ships over there in the Red Sea or the Indian Ocean, the Suez Canal. What does that have to do with either maybe Europe or the United States? Well, for Europe, you get a lot of your goods through the Suez Canal. So if they're going to stop the flow of transport between there because they're afraid of getting sunk, insurance rates go up, you're going to see prices of goods and oil and everything skyrocket, supply shortages. So if you're in Europe, get ready for that. Here in the United States, not as much travel through there, but it's going to be kind of a cascading effect. Even though we get a lot of stuff either from the Pacific or goes through the Panama Canal, things like that. We get some travel through the Suez Canal. It'll still be an impact, and, you know, we all use oil. And if it goes on from there and it goes into the Persian Gulf and that gets, restricted by Iran, we're going to have big problems. So we got to keep an eye on this. And also, if they start doing more attacks, transporters aren't going to want to take their vessels through there. That means goods don't travel. That means we all start hurting. So get the stuff you need now. What else is Yemen doing? Well, now we looked at that already. There's another one here. Hold on, guys. There we go. So the Houthis are shooting missiles. Let's see if we can blow this up for you. Here we go. So this morning, Saturday morning, we had 2 or 3 ballistic missiles fired from Yemen into Israel. They were taken down, they said, by the arrow system. All they had was a shrapnel landing, so no damage. But, you know, the people in southern Israel is that town of, I can't pronounce it, but it's a very southern tip of Israel into the Red Sea. It's a port city that they're hitting. It's the closest city to Yemen. And so they're still firing missiles into there, even though there's a ceasefire. The Yemenis don't care. They're going for it no matter what. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's go to this story. So getting out of the war stuff into the prepping things. So this article from Euronews Green. Millions in France are warned not to eat eggs from backyard chickens due to forever chemicals. Mass-produced, that industrial farming eggs, those are fine. Eat those. They don't have forever chemicals. They're cool. You people out there growing your own chickens, having them in your backyard, probably feeding them organically, all that stuff, don't eat those. You're going to die. This is just an anti-prepping, anti-homestead, anti-take care of yourself push that you see come down every once in a while from the elites. They feed it through the mainstream media. But my opinion, everybody knows this. You've been watching me for a while. I love chickens, magical creatures. Have them if you can have them. Yes, they make eggs. Very easy to take care of. Food, water, little shelter. They give you eggs. They give you fertilizer. You put that in your garden for your beautiful vegetables to grow. And you can also raise them for food and eat the suckers. So eggs are great. Eggs are great. Chickens are great. Have them. My opinion, I wouldn't listen to this at all. For me, I don't. I have my own. Eat chicken. I almost eat eggs every day. You also hear stuff, if you eat an egg a day or a week, your cholesterol is going to explode. You're going to get diabetes. You're going to die. I don't know. I'm still kicking around, and I'm eating like a dozen a week or so or more. So just want to point that out here. As we all know, don't believe everything you read. Chickens are great creatures. And then we have this. The American prepper culture spreads to Taiwan amid fears of Chinese invasion. If that's just showing up now, people in Taiwan are in trouble. You should have been prepping a long time ago. You got China. You can probably see China, the mainland, from the edge of Taiwan. And if they're just prepping now, you're behind. But hey, good thing you started. This says, hey, the United States, started the prepping culture and it's moved into Taiwan because the media is reporting a burgeoning movement in Taiwan to prep for disaster before it happens. Many of them are worried about the imminent invasion of China. Well, yeah, no kidding. So just want to point out that, they're saying prepping has started and it's going in Taiwan and they're getting ready. Does this mean it's too late for you? No, it's never too late to start. Start now if you can. Do what you need to. There's plenty of videos on it. If you have questions how you're just starting, first thing you should do, put them in the comments below and either myself or the community answer and get to them. But go Taiwan for prepping because I think that's going to happen soon. And that leads to this last story of why we think it's going to happen soon. Chinese military today said that the U.S. Navy destroyer, the Hopper, entered Chinese territorial waters without the approval of the Chinese government. Is this really Chinese territorial waters that are recognized by the rest of the world? Or is it part of that 9 seas, chain of islands they built by dumping sand in the ocean and made their own islands and claimed it as theirs? I got to look into this more, but Shadow here pointed out he's great with this stuff and also with the tracking air traffic. But, if China's claiming that we went in, they could see it as an act of war. They could retaliate. We don't know. Tensions are building over there in Asia as well. And that wraps up what I have to tell you guys during this Thanksgiving break news roundup. So things we got to keep eye of in review. What I think is important is this hostage deal. Does the ceasefire stop? Do they release them? Does it go on? Because that'll escalate the war. Second thing, the Houthis in Yemen attacking ships, trade. That's going to affect us financially in Europe, United States. Second thing to keep track of. And then you got the push for more war in Ukraine. I didn't get into all the stories about Finland beefing up their border, Estonia, the Baltics, what they're worried about. We got the warships going in there for the grain deal, all that. Those are the 3 high points. Of course, at home we didn't get into domestic stuff. Yeah, there's rail yards catching on fire, oil refineries catching on fire, there's attacks here, all that great stuff, the supposed accidental Canadian, United States border car flying through the air fiasco thing. It's just time, everybody, just to do like I always say at the end of videos, you're going to keep your ear to the ground, you're going to keep listening while you're out. Shopping's out, a lot of people. If you're in the malls, the shopping, a lot of people. Keep that head on a swivel because you're always watching out just in case somebody's out there going crazy. So until next time, keep that ear to the ground, head on a swivel.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.